Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are in the world. Welcome to the MotoGP Fantasy Preview. I'm Chris Jordan, and this weekend we are heading to the land of the rising sun for round 16. So after recent visits to Misano and Mandalika, it is Motegi that rounds out the triple header at this part of the season. Joining us this week for MotoGP Fantasy is none other than Ayumu Sasaki. It's a home GP for Sasaki, who is a rookie in the Moto2 class with the Yamaha VR46 Master Camp team. So, Ayumu, how are you doing today?
Very well, thank you.
How excited are you for your home Grand Prix?
Well, it is always special to be back here, riding in front of the home crowd. So I'm really excited to ride, and it will be first time for me to ride in Moto2 in front of my Japanese fans. I know that expectation is always high coming into home round, but I think this year the target is to achieve my best result possible in Moto2.
Very good. As we mentioned, you're a rookie in the class last time you were here. Indeed, the last two visits to Motegi, you were on the podium in Moto 3. What are your expectations this time around? In Aragon, we saw you pick up some good points. You've had some improved performances and results in recent rounds. Is a top 15 realistic aim for you this weekend?
Yeah, realistically, I think scoring points again. I think that's the first target, and to be also top 10, let's say, is the high target for this weekend.
And very good. And you mentioned about your home fans. What has it been like for you this week? What is the excitement from the Japanese fans about the likes of Ayumu Sasaki, Taka Nakagami, Ayagura, some brilliant riders who are going to be on display this weekend? How excited are the local fans?
Well, it is always special. First of all, the language is different. We speak Japanese. I know the most, of course, and all the fans speaking to me and supporting me, which is a big support.
Very good, Ayumu. So, without taking too much more of your time, let's get into business. So, we're going to pick our MotoGP fantasy team for the Japanese GP. Last time out, it was Indonesian rider Mario Aji who picked a team, and he left us with Pecco Bagnaia and Fabio Di Giannantonio as our gold riders, with Raul Fernandez and Franco Morbidelli as our silver riders. Our constructor is Aprilia, and our team is Repsol Honda. So, just to explain to the fans how the game works, we are allowed to make two changes to our team, whether that is with our riders, constructor, or indeed the team. So, Ayumu, what changes would you like to make? So, let's look
Um,
through some of the options. So, we have, of course, the two
yeah.
time world champion Pecco Bagnaia at 4.8 million. He is one of the most expensive riders in the game. If we look down here, if we were to replace Pecco, we could pick Marc Marquez, Enea Bastianini, Jorge Martin, and also I forgot to mention, but we also have 100,000 remaining in the bank. So whatever we take out from a rider, we can add 100,000 to it. So we also have Fabio Di Giannantonio and Franco Morbidelli at 2.3 million and 2.6 million. Some of the options,
Mhm.
if we were to replace one of them, we could look at maybe Pedro Acosta, Alex Marquez, Taka Nakagami, your compatriot, ahead of his home GP. Who knows? Maybe he could pull out a special result. Fabio Quartararo, Maverick Vinales, Alicia Spargaro, then coming in at a reasonably cheap 1.8 million. So looking
I
at this,
would,
yes, so
yes, I
you may
would like
continue.
to change Franco Morbidelli
Okay.
to Taka Nakagami.
Okay, so a little bit of patriotism, shall we say, ahead of the Japanese GP. Ayumu bringing in Taka Nakagami in place of Franco Morbidelli. Of course, this is Taka's final Japanese GP as a MotoGP rider. 7 seasons in the class. He will move into a new role with Honda at the end of the season, so it will be a farewell for Nakagami. And what other changes would you like to
And
make?
how much do I have left
So as you can see, we have
now?
now got 700,000 in the
100.
bank. So we could, some
Okay.
of the options we have, we could maybe change our constructor or our team. We could maybe change Raul Fernandez, Fabio De Gianantonio. If what are you
Yeah.
thinking at the
Ho-
moment?
Um,
Which rider would you like to remove?
I would like to change um maybe Fabio Giantonio
Okay, so
with
let's take out. That gives us
somebody less than
three
3 million.
three
Yeah.
million. So the likes of Marco Bezzecchi. We have Pedro Acosta. He was on the podium last time out as well. A talented rider, the rookie. Alex Marquez comes in at 2.6 million. We have Franco Morbidelli. And then who else do we have below? Fabio
I
Quartararo, Vinales, Espargaro, among them.
I would um I would put Fabio Quartararo.
Fabio Quartararo at 1.8 million. So let's have a look. So that puts Taka Nakagami in place of Franco Morbidelli and Fabio Quartararo in place of Fabio Di Gianantonio. So those are our two changes for the Japanese GP. So we cannot replace any more riders. We cannot replace the constructor or team. But what we can do is maybe change a silver rider for a gold rider.
Okay.
Would you like to maybe put Raul and Taka in place of Fabio or Pecco? So just to explain the difference between a gold rider and a silver rider, a gold rider earns double the amount of points as a silver rider. So for example, if Pecco earned 20 points across the weekend as a gold rider, he would only earn 10 as a silver rider. So are there any more changes
Okay.
you would like to make?
I think I stick to what it is now.
You're going to stick with that. So our team is Pecco
Yeah.
Bagnaia, Fabio Quartararo, of course, of Yamaha. Maybe a little bit biased again, Ayumu picking another Yamaha rider. But of course, it is Yamaha's home GP. So it's good to see the whole team is supporting Fabio. Raul Fernandez then will be riding for Trackhouse Aprilia. And Taka Nakagami ahead of his final Japanese GP. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Very good. And of course, actually, just to mention, Repsol Honda as well to complete our Japanese looking lineup. Honda, the Japanese brand, will be our team. So, Ayumu, let me switch back here. So, just before I let you go, I just want to talk to you a little bit more about the weekend. So, we've picked our fantasy team, but how do you think this weekend will unfold on track in MotoGP? Of course, we have Jorge Martin and Pecco Bagnaia battling for the title. We can start there. Who do you think will have the better weekend here in Japan? Of course, Jorge Martin took victory here in a red flagged race. So, can he go back to back, or do you think Pecco will strike back in the title race?
It's gonna be difficult one. I mean, I think the both of them will be on top for sure. I think it's gonna be a close fight between them two. But I also think that NAI is in a very good form. Um, so he could also maybe fight for a win.
And I'm going to ask you to put your neck out and make a decision. Who do you think will win the title in MotoGP this year?
Jorge Martin.
You're going with Jorge Martin. Okay, so first time MotoGP winner over the two-time reigning champion. And before I let you go, one last question. You picked him in your fantasy team. It's Takaaki Nakagami. It is his final Japanese GP. Can you just explain to me the influence that Taka has had on Japanese motorcycle racing and what it has been like to be in a paddock with a rider like Taka?
Well, he was racing already in the World Championship when I was very young age. starting motorsports and coming into Asia Talent Cup and going through a stage of coming up to the World Championship. And he was, of course, one of the riders that I dream of and I wanted to be. So he always inspire all the Japanese riders, and he's the top riders at the moment. So yes, I hope he have a great last race in Japan.
Thank you very much, Ayumu, and the very best of luck this weekend at your home Grand Prix. We'll be hoping for a strong result and a top 10 for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye. So, that was Ayumu Sasaki from the Yamaha VR46 Master Camp team. A big thank you to Ayumu for joining us this week. And this is the team he has left us with. Pecco Bagnaia is our gold rider alongside Fabio Quartararo. Ayumu picking for another Yamaha rider at the Japanese GP. Then it's Raul Fernandez and Taka Nakagami. Taka, of course, it's his final GP, and as you heard Ayumu state there, a huge influence on him. We have Aprilia as our constructor with Repsol Honda as our team. And going forward, Ayumu has very kindly left 1.2 million in the bank for our team ahead of the Australian GP. But that is it for the MotoGP Fantasy Show for the Japanese GP. A big thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time at Australia.